Hello guys, I've investigated a couple of alerts in um, Let's Defense SOC environment, and I was like, why not actually make a video on one this time around? I've been documenting, via my GitHub on Medium, and then yeah, but I was like, let me also try out, making a video, just to share. Okay, so basically, um, I would be investigating SOC 119. That's an alert on a malicious executable file that was detected, and so without wasting much time, I think we should dive deep into this. The first thing I look at is the alert details, right? So what is the alert telling us about? The events type is what a proxy. Then we have a couple of details over here that is telling us something about the alert. Okay, so what I'll do right now is because of so for documentation purposes, okay, I would copy the name of the alert and then head to yeah. So let me just clear this. So I have nothing yet. So let me just create this file. Yeah. So if this is your first time on my channel, I think you should um consider subbing and then leaving a like. That if you are cool with it. So I'm going to create my markdown file. So I would be documenting within this markdown file. Markdown because I mostly push like all these things to my GitHub. So actually, you can see I'm already I've cloned the repository. Okay, now I'm working directly from my terminal. I'm going to open this file, not with nano. So let me go. So if you- yeah, so I'm going to open this with Phoenix code. Yes, so the name of our alert, we got this. Then the next thing I do is to add my alert details, then investigation steps, then my conclusion comes here, then the playbook execution comes next. So the alert details, let's go back to let's defend. So you can see that the alert was triggered on 21st March, that was 2021 at 1 p.m. So um okay, 21st March 2021 at 1 p.m. Just to clarify, was it a working day, a weekend, or um I pay attention to all those so I'll just put this in. Right. So this was a Sunday. So this alert coming in on a Sunday um, would make me raise some questions such as um, so just for my investigation steps. So alert, let me make this alert was triggered on a Sunday Yeah, I know like the SOC in a SOC environment, right? It's a 24/7 kind of deal, but within the organization, I believe that most organizations do not actually work on weekends. So on a weekend, especially on a Sunday, why are you not in church but downloading malware in the company? Right. So I just ask myself these questions. Okay, so let me just document that um, then it tells us that there was a malicious executable file detected um, from this source address 172.16.17 of 5. The source host name that's Susie hosts. I think I have contained this host if I'm not wrong because I found the host communicating with a C2 IP in another investigation, right? So if I'm not wrong, then I have already contained this host. But let's move on with the investigation. Then the destination address was this. So um, you see right there, the host name was wainra.com. So we would need this as well to make some intelligence checks. The username Susie requested URL was this, so we can run the URL through threat intel platforms like VirusTotal to understand if there are any malicious, anything malicious with regards to that specific URL. Then it was Chrome via Windows, so the user agent tells us the specific device, or let me say browser that was used in accessing the specific URL. Then the firewall actually allowed this event, or it allows the malicious executable file to enter into the network. So it means that so okay, let's just move ahead with the investigation so that we understand more about it. So I'll just copy this. So these are the various alert details. So I'm going to paste that over here. And so because this is actually a video, I'm not going to pay much attention to the tables and then all that. But after I'm done with the video, I'm going to present it properly, right? So we have the alert details over here. So I'm going to first of all, I already took let me say I already assigned myself this alert, and I'm going to create a case out of it and then investigate whether this is a true positive or a false positive, right? So I'm going to create a case, then automatically playbook execution begins. So before I'm going to start off with the playbook, I'm going to open the log management um, platform, the endpoint security platform, email security platform in uh sorry. So this is it's yeah, the email security platform as well. I'm going to open it in a new tab. So I got the log management, endpoint security, and then email security over there. So back to the alert details. Events time was March 21st, that's 2021. Okay, so and then the alert was generated as a result of Susie downloading a malicious file from the specific URL. So what I would first do is to check if this URL is indeed malicious, as they say, and also check the destination address if there is anything malicious with regards to this destination address. But before that, in the log management platform, I'm going to filter for events um, from the specific IP, that's from the internal network. So how has this specific IP been behaving within the internal network? Okay, so I'm going to filter for source address. So it has quite a number of events. Okay, but mind you, this event took place on 21st March 2021. So let's just check out for that. So around that time, 21st March 2021. Let me close this. Yeah, so this is the specific alert you are looking for. And then it seems like around that time, that was just the event. Okay, around that time. But since the alert actually took place on 21st March 2021, I think that the best way to go about, I think, well, let me filter for the IP. So this is the source IP, right? So I'm also going to filter for the time. So because you can already see um, from 2020, events from 2020, 2021, okay, mixed up, and we can look through, okay, till the very end. Okay, there's even recent ones over here. So just to make sure that you don't miss out like important details from the logs, I'm going to filter to for March 2021. So I'm just going to filter for that specific month, right? So to 31st. Let's see what events we have. So now we've been able to kind of compress or we've been able to kind of get a clearer picture of what we are working with, right? So just to get some events around the time that that alert was generated. Okay, so you can see that there was an alert on 13th, then on 15th before the 21st. Okay, so let's just check what happened on 13th, right? So on 13th, it seems like the firewall allowed this specific event. So um, from this source IP, no, not this. We are not looking for this source IP. Let me kind of look at this now, because let me see. Source IP dot five, right? So I think I need to filter it again. Source address. I need this specifically. Okay. So let me close this. So let's see. So it seems like this is just the events. So dot 56 is actually for the IP for another host, right? We can confirm that from the endpoint security. So let me just add 6 to this. And is it that Sophia's device, right? That's Sophia's device. And even I've also contained that. I think, yeah, the device was seen, doing some bad stuff, right? So I contain that as well. But let's look at what we are dealing with for today. So it's just one event, right? So this is just the events that we are looking at. So the process, you have the process, the parent process, and then the parent process MD5, just to see if perhaps there was the legitimate process that was running. But for now, let's just assume that yeah, the Suzy used Chrome to access the specific URL. Okay, so we currently have that information. Let's check. So I'm going to grab this URL, go on to virus total. Uh, so I'm going to enter the URL in here to see. So virus total returned um, a good score for the URL, and it even states the IP. So we can compare this IP .68.163 to this .68.163. That's the same IP. And let's see what the community talks about over here. This one says, well, classified as malware. The Joe Sandbox analysis gives it a score of 5/100. Let's see the detection tab. So every security vendor marks it as clean. The details, the redirection chain, uh, that's the 7 IP, the various HTTP headers, um, some information. So it seems like this was actually pointing to WinRAR's legitimate, site to, perhaps download WinRAR from there. Okay, so what I can also do is to access the specific link. So let me try and then see if I can open the sandbox environment in a new tab. Okay, so what you can do from here is also check this specific link, okay, within a sandboxed environment, and then or let me just use any run. So I'm just going to perform a new analysis. Let me just use this. So there's the URL. I'll use Chrome, then run a public analysis. Agree. So yeah, basically you can see it is the official, website of WinRAR. Okay, so you can see there was no kind of malicious detections. Then we kind of increase the time a bit. and WinRAR was actually downloaded. Okay, so this is the executable file. We expect that for dynamic analysis, once the executable file is, or once it is executed, okay, it automatically starts a process, and we just want to see if that specific process is, malicious. Does it kind of um, try to reach outside IPs? How does it behave? Okay, so any run would help us analyze, that for that specific information. Okay, so I'm just going to double click it and then install. I'm just going to proceed with the normal installation. Done. So it seems like it's already installed. So let me check WinRAR. So let me open actually as an admin. Right. So basically, at this point, I could already tell that this is a false positive. Okay, so the link wasn't malicious. It wasn't malicious at all. So it's opened clearly. Okay, so let me just stop this and then look at what is being said about this specific investigation. So a verdict says suspicious activity. The threat is that it is a loader. Wow, capable of infecting systems. Wow. But when we come to the behavior activities, we can see that there is no malicious indicator. So sometimes these analysis could also present to us false positives, okay, because there are some features within legitimate softwares, okay, that can be perhaps flagged, okay. So WinRAR, just like WinRAR like this, could be able to create some kind of processes, okay. Looking at the use of WinRAR as a whole, okay, that might seem suspicious to these platforms, right? So one thing as well I managed to look at is, okay, not to trust too much. Okay, so even if this specific security vendor is saying this, okay, I need to verify from other sources as well whether this is actually a threat or not a threat. Okay, so um yeah, so this is the process information, so a bit more information about it. But as of now, without even starting with the playbook, okay, I have to gather some kind of intelligence, right, with regards to um, the alert. Okay, now going back, so let me say investigation steps. So um, virus virus total and any dot run classified it as not, or classified the URL as legitimate. Okay, legitimate. After I'm done with the video, I can just restructure everything out. But this is just for presentation purposes, just so we can know whatever is going on. So after I'm done with that, I'll go back to get Susie's IP. So then I'm actually wrong because all right, let me just check. So let me just use log monitoring, sorry, log management. Then I'm going to filter for, so I already filtered for Susie's host, sorry. uh so so now I'm going to the endpoint security to filter for Susie's device, and that is it. So let's see what we have here. So you remember I told you I found this host actually performing or contacting a C2 IP. Okay, so that was from a different investigation. That is why I contained this host. Okay, but for the current investigation that we are on, so currently we are seeing that there is no processes running, that the agent is down, right? I don't know if this is from my end or from the platform itself, but I kind of experienced such challenges with some of the internal machines within the platform, right? So basically, endpoint telemetry also helps us to connect the dots. Okay, so most of the times after I'm done with analyzing what happened at the network level, I would also need to look at the host as well. Okay, because network action processes, browser history, terminal history can tell us a whole lot of things about the specific alert. So right now we are being told that the an executable file was detected. Okay, so what went on the victim's device? Okay, was it that the executable file, after it was perhaps allowed into the internal network, did it create some processes? Okay, we can look at the various processes that were running, that had been running, okay, since the execution of that file. Okay, we can even tend to look at the various hashes of these processes, and then compare with various threat intelligence platforms whether this is a malicious process or not. Okay, terminal history can tell us a whole lot about what kind of commands were executed from the command line level or from the terminal. Browser history can also tell us the various sites, whether malicious or not, that um, the host or the victim actually accessed. Okay, so I contain this host not because of this specific investigation that I'm working on, but because of another alert that I worked on, that was yesterday. Okay, I just found this host to be communicating with a C2 IP, right? That is why I contain this host. Okay, so this is not for this event or this alert. Okay, right? So basically, we're not able to get so much endpoint information, so I'm going to document that as well. So um so endpoint telemetry was insufficient to help with connecting the dots. So even though we didn't have as much information that we needed from the host itself, we've been able to clarify that this is most likely to be a false positive because the URL was clean and it was just a download for WinRAR. Okay, so let's just begin with the playbook. So we are being asked to collect data. So source, address, destination, user agent. So let me copy this and go back to playbook execution. uh, so collect data. So I collected what? Everything is inside the alert details. So data collected within alert details. Then let's see what next we are being asked to do. We have been asked to search in the log management platform for details. Remember, we did that and then we saw that there was just that specific event. Okay, just that specific event for that day. So we did that as well. Then analyze the URL address. So let me just put this search log management. Let me say panel. Then analyze URL address. So let me go here. Analyze. So this is everything that we did. So let me just copy this, uh paste it here, right? So virus tutor and then any.1 all classify the URL as to be the legitimate WinRAR site. So the Susie, or I was about to say the host, but Susie actually went to or visited WinRAR's official website to download their software to be able to use, right? So I'm going back to this, and it asks us to specify whether this was malicious or non-malicious. Okay, so um, I'm actually going to remove this and say it was non-malicious, right? So then I'm going to click non-malicious. Then we can also add artifacts. So right, I should have hashed the file. So we have the IP. Right, I didn't. Should I check? So let's just check in the email security dashboard, right? So we know the events took place on 21st March 2021. but let me just filter for Susie over here, whether perhaps she received so this is from February 7th. This was for, so this is actually out. So let's just look at this. So that was a month before that specific alert, right? Hi Susie, can we arrange a meeting today if you are available? So I would typically look at the email security tab just in case maybe there was a phishing email, associated with the specific events that we are looking at, right? So an example also is to check the security email, especially when I am working on web application, or let me say web related alerts. Okay, so if let's say an SQL injection attempt was detected, or perhaps there was kind of an LFI or RFI exploitation detected, right? I would actually look at the email security tab to see if perhaps there was a planned penetration test that was to take place that specific day, just to gain context and not clarify the attack as entirely malicious. But I need to gather as much data as possible before I'm able to connect the dots, or before I'm able to come to a good conclusion, right? So this is actually for this. So I'm going to state it in my investigation steps that emails um, did not provide anything related to the event, or let me say anything malicious related to the event. So then go back, then let's continue with so the IP, right? So I'm going to grab the IP. I'm going to copy this. So the next step was to add artifacts. So source, destination, and um, URL added, right? So um, so let me go back here. So uh, yeah, so I forgot. So log analysis showed that um, there was just that event uh, around the time of uh, let's time of alert generation. So I think it would be best as well to look at other events related to this, especially the destination IP. Okay, but um, the fact that we've been able to identify that the IP isn't malicious, it's actually tailored to the official website of WinRAR. I think that limiting the log analysis to just that specific event would be, of much use over here. So we have our log analysis over here, and you can see, you can put this under threat intel, and endpoints. Okay, let me put endpoint security. Then this can be email security, right? So the reason why I'm doing all this is, let me show you one of my write-ups. Okay, so I would try as much as possible to put everything under the same, so everything under whatever I did under threat intelligence stays under threat intelligence. Okay, I put my findings in, and so this was just threat intel. Let me go back to, let me see if I can get any other investigation that I worked on. So let's say, okay, this was a ransomware event. So you can see I have the analysis for the malware analysis session, the log analysis, then the endpoint investigation. Okay, before threat intelligence. So I would group it into that. Okay, based on the specific alert that I'm working on, right? Just for the write up. So having that, let me say, can conclude that this was a what, a false positive, right? But I would actually make it better. like I write something sensible over there. It's just because I'm making a video. So analysis showed that the requested URL by Susie. So then I put Susie's IP. Um, that is okay. So I put Susie's IP over here. Um, requested URL by Susie was actually directed at the legitimate site for um, Win. So WinRAR 90. Let me put it at 98% confidence. So alert is a false positive with 98% confidence, and hence no need for escalation. I think this is okay for now. So I'm going to keep this notes. I'm going to copy this. Next, uh, I'm going to finish the playbook, right? So let's see if we had it right or not. So this was the event. So I'm going to close the alert as a false positive. Then I'm going to add the notes over here. Um, so I have my notes over here. But I think I forgot one thing. I always you know have to include screenshots. So um, I'm just going to do that after the video, right? But at least I can save this for now. So let me just screenshot this. So this is everything happens like when I'm documenting, right? So um, I'm going to save this. So not here. I have to save it within. Um, let me see. Yes, so I can make this SOC1. Uh, okay, so I have saved that. So let me just put a placeholder under the conclusion. So um, closed alert. And where can we find the image? It is within images soc1.png. Right. So I'm going to just take the other screenshots after I'm done with the video. But for now, let's just see what happens. And let's see. Right. So the analysis was, right. Um, and we've scored. We had everything right, just to say, okay. So definitely this was a false positive, and this was the notes that I added. I think I would end the video here. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to, continue to make, you know, more videos like these, especially with regards to the investigations that or the alerts that I close, and then everything with regards to documenting cybersecurity related write-ups. Yeah, so thanks very much for watching. Catch you in the next video.